Hello,
Master Wayne.
Internet. Lights on. Welcome to the Double D Experience. Did you know that the Double D Experience is Gotham's reckoning?
Master
I
Wayne.
bet it. Alfred,
Oh,
my
Master
friend.
Bane. Master Bane. Master Bane. I just can't believe I just realized that now. Master Bane. You can't do that, Master Bane. You can't take over Gotham, Master Bane. It's not legal. Master
I
Bane.
see you've already jizzed in pretty much every corner of the city.
Yes, Master Bane.
It's amazing.
It was all part of the League of Shadows master plan. Ra's al Ghul knew what he was doing hiring me. Literally jerking it in every corner of the city. You know where Harvey Dent died? Literally jerked it right over his fucking forehead. It was glorious, Master Bane. Glorious.
Using the skills that I learned in the mountains. How are you going to stop? How are you going to stop him, Master Wayne? How are you going to stop him? Using the skills that I learned in the mountains. Hello, everybody. Lights are officially switched on. Welcome to the Double D Experience, which is not a front to take over Gotham, as you might have assumed beforehand.
But it is a plan to take over your ears.
I don't know how Winnie the Pooh got in here, but I promise you he won't get back in again. That's my favorite thing about Bane, by the way. It's that he's such like a terrifying villain, so serious, and he's the whole movie. He just sounds like Winnie the Pooh.
He sounds overly polite too, so there's that weird, like, I probably should be scared of this guy, but he sounds as if he wants to, like, give me a pamphlet for Christianity. So it's just kind of like,
excuse me, old
do you have a word to speak about Jesus Christ?
I happen to know a thing or two about Jesus.
You were born in Christianity. I was born in it.
For instance, did you know that Jesus was black? I did.
He was part of the League of Shadows. I mean, I don't know. Like in the comics, Ra's al Ghul is supposed to be like an immortal. So like, I don't know. It'd be so funny if like maybe there is a comic out there like where Ra's al Ghul met Jesus. I mean, I know Ra's al Ghul. Depending on which Batman medium you're real into, I'm real big on the animated series from Warner Brothers and the one that was aired on Cartoon Network, because that was
the one with Harley.
I'm Harley.
Harley. I'm gay in the new show.
Yeah, Puddin'. Spread your legs, Puddin'.
Oh my God! That was Joker.
I tried.
That was Joker. No! I thought you were impersonating Harley, and I was like, "What the fuck is she like smoking a pack like a day?"
No, not a pack. Like probably like 10 packs a day. Sounds like Kat Von D.
You remember like when? Do you remember when the fantabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn dropped, and people were like actually getting in flame wars over that movie, comparing it to the fucking Sonic the Hedgehog movie because they came out around the same time?
To answer your question, no, because I actually only heard about the movie. I never actually watched it. But
no, I never saw it either. I never had any interest. But I'm just saying, like, on the internet, like, this was on, like, public Twitter and stuff. To the point where I think it was trending, where people were literally, like, screaming at each other over which movie was better since they dropped it exactly around the same time. And I was like, how the hell can you, like, throw an apple directly at an orange?
And hope to God, like, you know, you could draw
and hope a fucking
comparisons.
lemon comes out or something. Like, what is wrong? How could you compare Sonic the motherfucking porcupine
I think he's a hedgehog, David.
to a movie about a lesbian clown? Like, I don't understand how you can compare those two if and at each other. I would love to see the crossover. Don't get me wrong. Sonic the Hedgehog meets Harley Quinn. I'd pay to see that shit. I saw the Sonic movie in a theater by myself.
You know,
I almost
David,
got arrested.
Most people don't actually watch movies by themselves. So I actually applaud you for that, because you're a very brave man to do that.
Listen, man, I was coming off a breakup. It was.
So you watched Sonic the
It was
Hedgehog to
something.
get
Yes.
over it?
All right. Yes. So I went. So I watched. So I went to go see. I was craving a little bit of independence at the time. Don't get me wrong. I was miserable
Gotcha.
because it was fresh. I was fresh off the boat, as they say.
The relationship boat.
Yeah. So like it was like sort of a weird therapeutic thing to see it by myself.
Mhm.
I felt very uncomfortable. There were mostly children in the theater. I was sitting in a
Oh
corner
my God,
by
yeah.
myself.
Mhm.
People kept giving me dirty looks. I got arrested.
Don't touch my children.
It was just pretty much a safe assumption that I was in fact a pedophile. So then when I told them what I do and that I'm a Smash Brothers commentator, that didn't really help. didn't really help on that front.
You must be one of the pedophiles.
I thought it would if I just started immediately telling the truth about myself, but that was not the case, seeing as how, I mean, hey, dude, one thing that is on the this wasn't on the back of people's minds, I should say. Maybe a little bit on my. I was way more focused on, like trying to clean up, like what happened at that time. I made a whole like hour-long like podcast style video like a few months ago, like back when the whole Me Too thing in Smash was happening. But a lot of like the top commentators got outed for stuff because they took like trips to Mexico and stuff where they were definitely sleeping with underage women. Like, it was like, because they all got outed for that. They each, like, some of them, like, slept with, like, underage girls when they were drunk, and they used to take, like, frequent trips down to Mexico, and I actually called for people to start investigating those, but I don't want to get into that. I just made a really dumb joke about Smash, pedophile, because, like, people love to associate that with that now when they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It was the greater fighting game community at large. Let's talk about video games. You want to talk about video games, Dennis? I really like video games. They're my favorite.
How did you segue into that?
Because it's the whole video game community, and video games are an interesting thing. I played up.
Like, that was a massive overreach of a segue.
I'm just gonna like sort of rack my brain real quick as to how I can recover from this, because I'm not sure if there is a way, and I think I should cancel myself. If that's a possibility. If that's a Campbell's chicken noodle.
So everyone, keep a lookout for David's apology video. That's going to be an hour long of him having crocodile tears of like him saying that like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for what I did. I should not have touched that child. She was 17.
It's going to start in like every like normal way. Like every douche tuber's like apology video. Like, wait.
Oh God, I hate those so much.
It's like.
I hate those.
Oh, yeah, well, guys,
here we
are.
They time the breathing too.
They like, time the
like
sigh.
5 seconds. They have 5 seconds. It's like 1, 2, 4.
It's one of my favorite critical
sorry.
videos. Oh God, it's one of my favorite critical videos. He made a YouTuber apology tier list video. It's so funny, dude. I love critical, man.
That also just tells you like what the sheer volume of like apology videos is, like that the very fact that critical could even make a tier list out of all of those, that just goes to show you like, I don't know, I guess what would that mean? Like does that mean apology videos are
it means the
like,
state of YouTube is fucking trash and they're all a bunch of like douche tubers who
you are
the reason that Kappa exists, because you make these garbage videos that appeal namely to children so you can sell your merch or whatever on here. All these like rich douche tubers. Oh my God, I remember these 4 guys who were like literally just making a video of this house tour with like a hot tub and shit, stained glass windows and stuff, and
like rice gum.
Literally, like it was just a video showcasing how rich they all are.
Okay.
Like the state of you. Oh my God, YouTube is such a worse place before than it is now. I aspire to never be that.
But hold on, like we would also, when we get to that point, I would also love to be selling merch too. Although,
no, nothing wrong with that.
No,
I'm
yeah,
talking
but
about
it's just like when you like literally monetize it, like you monetize you already getting money. Like you're monetizing that for everyone else to see. And it's just I don't know, what do you call it? Like I don't know. Like I think YouTube itself is a very self-serving platform already.
Yeah.
But it's like I think some people could walk that line very well and like be at least in the middle of it. Because like I think, I don't know, like when eventually you're gonna buy a house, right? Like you want to show it to your friends and like things like, hey, like look at the place, like it looks nice, like I really like it.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm saying. There's like a difference between that to like, hey, yo, check out my pad, like look at like 5 hot tubs, like 10 bathrooms, 40 kitchens. It's like Why do you need 40 kitchens first?
All right, listen up, loser chodes. I'm gonna tell you why Star Wars will never make you rich.
That's false. Actually, a lot of them have gotten rich.
Dude, oh my god, there was I remember that thread that this like rich guy made about like he ended every tweet in that thread with like Star Wars, man. This is what's holding you back. Meanwhile, like the guy who created Star Wars will shit out more money, wipe his fucking fat ass with it than you will ever make like in your life, man. I hate like Mr. Douchebag types like, oh dude, I'm totally hooking up with Ryan Gosling's sister-in-law. I swear. I fucking swear to God, bro.
David, I gotta give you a fair warning. She looks just like him. I have to give you a fair warning right now. If we go into Star Wars, I will literally talk for 2 hours. So let's not get into this yet.
Okay, no, okay. I hate the new trilogy.
I kind of
stop. Shut up.
I was gonna say, I kind of do, but it's got.
I haven't seen all the Star Wars movies myself. We'll not get into that.
Yeah. We'll get to that when we cross that bridge eventually.
But I will tell you, one thing that YouTube is definitely not good for are spoilers, which you can easily spoil you for. You know, you hate how like you follow like a YouTuber or whatever.
Oh, David, I have another like discussion about this with you.
What's up
right now?
Because you got something you wanted to talk about video games, right?
Yeah. And I mean, also just real quick onto this spoiler discussion real quick, because I know you don't watch the anime, but right now I'm Attack on Titan, right?
Everybody on my fucking Twitter feed is talking about Attack on Titan right now. It's the thing with the giant like the giants people. They eat somebody, and then there's that like abridged series where the guy's like, "Oh, all right, you poop nobblers." Now I don't want no screwing around with you bunch of meat tossers. The last group thought it'd be funny to shove a corn cob up a trainee's butthole. And you know what happened? They were asked sternly and politely to leave.
Fuck that.
And it was awkward for everyone. Alright, Area Coconut, what's your name?
Oh,
well, sweet Mother Teresa on the hood of a Mercedes-Benz, you sound like a majestic fucking eagle. Do you sing? Harmonize with me, maggot!
Yes, I do remember that wonderful series.
So yeah, Attack on Titan.
Yes, since I know, I'm already guessing that a lot of your audience, and for any newcomers out there who do watch Attack on Titan, it's on its last season, and just a couple bits of history. The studio that was working on the last 3 seasons, they have switched to a new studio, and now it's like being and it's being basically praised and lauded, and also being criticized as probably one of the most significant anime events to happen for this year, since everyone's it's been like really highly anticipated. And since most animes, usually their source material is their manga, which is like the comic book like resource that they use, like thing as basically like the basis for everything. This has happened all the time with any major anime, even back in the day, like Naruto and Bleach and all them. Usually manga readers would spoil everything for all the anime only watchers.
You're such a pleb, bro. You even Japanese?
You even Japanese? No, you won't. What? You can't read, bitch?
Yes, because the mangas like continue the story before the anime.
Yeah, way ahead.
Out, right?
Way ahead. And right now, like I'm like on a literal like genocidal war against these spoilers like that are being posted up on. I don't go on Twitter that often, but like at least on YouTube, like you know how YouTube has the recommended pane that like just kind of lists like all the stuff that, hey, we think you might like this, so watch it, and provide that traffic for some of these videos. For literally as soon as like the first episode came out for season 4, I got all these manga spoilers. Literally, literally all this shit like just started coming like, raining down from the heavens, and just like it's like, hey, bet you didn't know, Eren actually fucked Mikasa in chapter whatever the fuck, and actually like he actually got the Titan and she got the Titan, shit like that. And like it's so funny because like a lot of these guys who do spoil it, they love to pretend as if like they're not snobby, bratty pieces of shits like thing who like you're essentially ruining it for like half of the audience of this whole thing because on one hand there's like the manga only readers, which if that is what you are, then okay, fine, whatever. And like the anime only watchers, and for the anime only watchers, like there's a bit of you gotta like kind of cater to them just a little bit because of the fact that like they're not probably gonna read the manga. Like they want to see all the stuff that's gonna happen like visually in the anime. And right now, like everyone's just been like spoiling it nonstop for everybody. And I don't know. So all those people who do that, who spoil this shit for them, go fuck yourself. For real. Like take a stick, shove it up your ass, and then take another stick and shove it down your throat and just turn yourself into a rotisserie chicken over an open fire. Like just kill yourselves, please.
You should tell our fucking listeners to spit roast themselves.
Yes, with 2 sticks. Really splintery sticks.
Now, I've seen all types of fetishes on the internet, my friend, but self-spit roast is one that I do not think has in itself been created yet self-literal roast. That's amazing.
I mean, people are creating fetishes all the time.
I know. I agree on that front, man, because, like, spoilers, like, on YouTube, like, there are literally YouTubers that I've had to mute that I'm not subscribed to, because the second a game comes out, they, like, post, like, oh, your final boss level. Dude, like, Prosavia Gaming, if you're listening to this, I hope you spit roast yourself and swallow a stick and have that come out your fucking other end of your esophagus, straight down through your goddamn colon, and then shove the other one in your ass and have them meet and date inside of, like, your fucking small intestine forever. That's what I hope happens to you, because you have spoiled so many fucking shit for me, and I'm not even sub to you. So, like, I hate when you are literally the worst kinds of YouTubers. I hate people like that. The reason I say this is because I wanted to talk about video games because we had a lot of listeners today already ask us some questions about video games. So I know we saved listener questions to the end, but I want to actually
we could turn them into topics.
Because this really has to do with the topic I wanted to talk about anyway.
Same here for me. Yeah.
I will do some of the viewer questions that we got in the interest of time, just to say at the beginning. So
yeah, because you guys at least deserve that much. Like
exactly, because me and Dennis we're still formatting some stuff because we've been getting a lot more listener questions than we thought. And last time we saved them. Last time, we always save them for the end, which we always do. But we ran a little long last week. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know, there's certain things are,
we could at least touch base.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah,
we could at least touch dicks. and that'll be fine. So I will combine 2 questions here with my answer. We have one question from @Fez @Fez_GG. Thanks for the question, Fez. Says,
love
any
you,
thoughts?
Fez.
We love you, Fez. Any thoughts on the current and future video game market, particularly how some PS5 games are being priced at $70 instead of the usual $60?
Current and future game market. Okay.
Before I answer that, I will also say, what was the other question that we got about that? Let me go. Let me go back onto here. From Satachi, another question from @SatachiSSB. It's a similar question, but not the same thing.
I want to read
Do
this.
you think video games are getting worse compared to how they used to be?
Okay, so we got a 2-parter. David,
this
you
is a
start
two-parter.
off. Yeah, you start off where you're at with both
Well,
of those
what I will
questions.
say in answering to Fez, I am no PC elitist. I mean, I do think
I
PC
am.
gaming... I do think... No, for the most part, I'm not going to lie to you. PC gaming is just... It's just... For most games, I think it's just better for so many reasons. I think Nintendo console and PC is, like, the optimal combo for video games just in general.
I agree.
Unless you, like, really want, like, the Sony or Microsoft exclusives, which, by the way, lol. So, on the current video game market, I mean, it's just... It really depends on what you're after. Nintendo is really in their own lane. I feel like even Sony and Microsoft are going to really, like, sort of stop competing with each other relatively soon, especially for what they do.
Because it's a losing battle, too, for both of them, I feel.
Yeah, and as far as PS5 games being priced at $70 instead of the usual $60, when we were young, dude, that used to be the price of, like, N64 games and stuff back in the day, man. Like, those were ludicrously expensive. So games, for the most part, nowadays, despite the technical upgrades and the increases in technology, of course, they're actually cheaper than they used to be. But what I will say is, though, $70 for... $70 for, a game that you could have run a lot better on a computer, I mean... It's a little different. I think consoles are better for the homey video game experience. Sitting down with your buddy, playing a game with them in person on the couch. Nothing beats that, in my opinion. And I think consoles are still very relevant because of that.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to personal gaming, I think personal computers
Mhm.
are better for that personally.
Yeah.
Poisonally, but
Poison.
yeah, it's like that's what I think. The market is just very, it just caters to different things. If you would, I want to keep this answer a little bit short because I do have some other questions and topics that I'd like to get into. But if you want my TLDR answer for that, Fez, I will say that like. It really just depends on the market because Nintendo's in their own lane. They're doing their own thing with that. I don't think Microsoft and Sony really have to compete with each other as much as they used to. And this is a loaded question.
No, yeah, it is.
This is a really
this could be a
loaded
whole
question.
episode itself if it wanted.
Honest to God, yeah, I feel like
maybe we could. I don't know.
What's up?
No, it's because like I really want to answer this, but like I also know like this could be a long-winded response from both of our sides, like both from you and me. So that's why like I'm like thinking like maybe we could like maybe save this for like a whole nother episode, like just its own thing, just because at least for this sort of question, thank you again, Fez. It's a loaded one for both you and I because like I'm a gamer and as are you. And we both have like fairly strong opinions about like everything that's been going on as far as like the industry goes, at least what the direction that they're headed towards. And same as David, I'm gonna like kind of try to keep this like TLDR. I'll try my very best. But okay, so for Fez's question about any thoughts on the current and future video game market, and any thoughts about how like the PS5 games are being priced at 70 instead of the usual 60. As far as my thoughts on the current, the present, and the future market, I already feel that both the big dogs, Sony and Microsoft specifically, just because they're always having like an eternal boxing match with each other while Nintendo's just like in the background just eating the popcorn and watching them slug it out because like they know like they can't touch me, so I'm just gonna enjoy this.
Yeah.
And PC is also just like like in its own lane as well.
I want to talk about fetishes.
I love feet.
Jesus.
I love feet. But okay, so as far as my thoughts on the market, I feel as if right now Sony and Microsoft are already kind of getting the idea that this whole like because like at least when it came to both the two of them, like they were like always the ones that were on like the forefront when it came to like PlayStation versus Xbox, because like that was like kind of like the two biggest ones by that point. Like when the console wars were like really big by like Xbox 360 and PS3 era, and it just kind of like slowly ramped up and then slowly winded down like as the years went by, with Nintendo still just doing its own thing because like the Wii wasn't competing with nothing, it was competing with itself by that point.
Yeah.
But I feel now it's kind of like people are seeing that they love these dedicated services because Xbox has their Game Pass that for I think like a I don't know, you guys in the audience could like at least correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I'm not gonna look it up real quick. But
Pass.
like they are basically saying that hey, like for this I think monthly sum of money, like then you guys could like have access to all these games and like you could basically take it anywhere you want, essentially. And for Sony and making like the PS5 and essentially like lauding it as like a next leap forward for like console gaming and such, which hardware wise it is as far as where those specs are at. But them pricing their games at 70 instead of 60, I feel personally for me like it's kind of where we may be going with that. Like that's where we might be going as far as console games and the price to scale that we're going to be getting out of those products, just because of how right now it seems as if it's just now that Xbox and Sony just started to go into 4K and like really go into it. And PC's been doing that already for like years.
Yeah.
We've had 4K with 60 frames per second like thing already for years at this point. And for PC gamers, it's just kind of like it's like we've already had this and now already up to 8K. So like consoles are still trying to catch up with all of us in that. But I also feel as if like that's where they're already kind of like fucking up, because you guys shouldn't be trying to do that. But it's like I don't know. It's so weird because like they keep playing this weird game of catch up with like both the Sony and Microsoft with PC. Because like 4K is crazy. Now they're thinking, oh, we need 4K, and now they have it. But PC's already going on to 8K, so it's like I don't know. Like,
perpetual.
yeah, like it's just a perpetual game of catch up at this point, and I feel as if the more that the consoles keep trying to push their hardware, the more the prices are going to increase. That's personally for me. That's like the general progression that I kind of can foresee, just because it's kind of like, like it's it's kind of like just business as usual for a lot of them, just because like you know we got this better console, like okay, like we better have like a better games and better hardware to run it with, so therefore like let's do that. And
I see what you're saying. It's like an endless cycle of just improving everything, but everything is still at the same tier that it was before. There hasn't been anything so groundbreaking in technological advancements to the point where it's like, oh wow, a console is like a PC now. That's amazing. No, a console is now like a PC from like 2010.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. Now, like, a PC is still a PC. I'm looking at the rainbows that are going on inside my computer right now. They're slowly making me gay, like, just by, like, the subliminal implementation of propaganda. It's getting in there. Oh my god, Fox News was right. But
yeah. Sorry again that I tried to explain that better, but TLDR, I feel as long as, like, they keep trying to push the hardware, so is the pricing going to go increase as well. It's just, I feel as if that's just how it's going to be at this point on, because PCs, as far as like what you pay for them, not only do you play games, but you could do plenty of other shit plenty of other stuff with them. And I think that's the reason why they're priced the way they are. I kind of dropped a good couple of thousand, I think, on my system. And I'm trying to get an RTX 3080. Please, anyone, if you have one, please give it to me. But for free, yeah. I'll suck your dick for it.
I knew you were gonna fuck.
But
I knew that's where you were going.
But that's why I feel like, as far as what you can do with a PC, like it's immense, vast, even. Like as far as the possibilities go, what you can what you can do with it. Consoles are very much like a 1, 2, 3, I guess, like trade type of thing. Like where you could play games and now you could stream and you can watch movies and other shit on it. Like you have apps that you can use like on a PS4 and plus an Xbox and like, do other shit with them.
Except on the Switch, which does not have Netflix still.
Which is kind of a shame, Nintendo. I mean, why would you do that?
The fucking 3DS had Netflix.
Yeah, I know. And like for some reason Netflix is not on the Switch. Like maybe on the Switch Pro it will. I could see it just because like people are already saying that like the resolution may be upscaled with that one. So like I guess that's why like they're just saving for it, because like 4K TVs are like the norm now at this point. Like everyone kind of has one, and it's not really that expensive to get one as much as it was before, at least.
At WibitM, there you go. There's your answer to that question for our thoughts on the rumored Switch Pro. It will probably have Netflix.
Yeah, and upscaled 4K.
Yeah,
it's. I think it's kind of just like where it's going, and I kind of had this whole discussion beforehand about like why I feel as if Nintendo shouldn't be going towards that, just because like it's almost as if they're trying to try to jump on the bandwagon of the other two, like Microsoft and Sony. And I also said that I feel as if Nintendo doesn't need to do that, just because they've been in their own lane, they've been doing well, they don't need to really be competing at all. And Nintendo's one of those weird companies where like even though they don't have competition, they still innovate, because like, usually it's competition that really drives home the innovation that a lot of these companies do. And Nintendo hasn't really had too much, but they've still gone above and beyond with their products. Like it's so weird that they're one of those companies that like they already internally know like we can't get comfortable. But I feel as if because of maybe that, and they're thinking, oh, like we can't get comfortable, let's make 4K Switches.
Yeah.
And they don't need to. I feel as if 1440p is like the sweet spot already. If they had a Switch Pro that went only up to 1440p, they don't need to do any more than that. 4K is not necessary for any Nintendo game out there. And as for any upcoming title that may be coming out. I mean, yeah, like some titles can really, like the visual fidelity will just be further increased. Like imagine Breath of the Wild in 4K, like, I'm going to cream my pants. Yeah, like, of course. But that's why I'm saying like, it's like, they don't need to go already. They don't need to go that far with it. 1440p, if that's what they were going with it, that's fine. 4K is unnecessary for them.
Nintendo is Nintendo, man. They could start. They have so much money. They could start
I
selling.
know they have so much money.
They just start selling dildos. No more video games.
Mario.
They're fine.
Mario Peach
They're
dildo.
absolutely fine.
Of
They
course,
can do
yeah.
it. You know, they can afford to, just shit on an entire gaming community as if we're like this insignificant speck to them, which we are, which is what the Smash community is to Nintendo. And then, all they have to do is drop a little pretty trailer and everybody...
Well, shut
a
the
little
fuck up.
pretty trailer and everybody... Dude, it's hilarious fucking...
Yeah.
It's
I remember
how that happened.
when we were talking before and like we didn't discuss it too much, but like we kind of already knew that Nintendo was gonna drop a new trailer for a new fighter. I think by the Video Game Awards. And when it was Sephiroth, like I kind of remembered like what you were telling me about like this whole controversy that was going on.
Yeah.
And then I remembered like how we one time talked about bread and circuses. It really is that, isn't it? Like I'm not part of your guys' community, but like I definitely could at least see the comparison because literally you guys were up like in an uproar about what was the thing, David, by that?
What happened, and this is another viewer question actually from @Solly_Zussman, Sussman, I should say, Zoso. Forgive us for like implementing a lot of the video game questions that we got this week together. We are just this is kind of a video game episode. If we're being completely honest, even the topics that I had planned were about video games, and so were Dennis's. So we'll just call this episode "Video Games." Aren't they fun?
Video games, aren't they fun? But every other like letter will have like it'll just be like it'll look like a fucking ransom note. like video games like at E is 3, like shit like that.
How do you do, fellow kids?
How do you do, gamers?
Yeah, I would love to see Steve Buscemi start a Let's Play channel. Oh,
I'd love to have Steve Buscemi on this fucking podcast.
Oh, are you kidding, man? Dude, I would love Steve Buscemi.
I want to hear his stories. He's so interesting.
Yeah, he's an interesting lad. Like, how did it feel to get shot in the gut with a shotgun on Sopranos? He's like, it was great. Did you know it was real?
Yeah, it was great.
Did you know it was real? We strive for being as realistic as possible on The Sopranos, so they thought we gotta use a real shotgun
with real pellets and real shells.
maybe that's what happened to fucking. Maybe that's what happened to what was the lead actor's name on that show?
James Gandolfini.
James Gandolfini. Maybe they killed him. Maybe his like family killed him in revenge.
Rest in peace, James.
Rest in peace, James.
We love you. You were a Jersey boy. We love you.
We love you, friend. But Zoso asks, it's already old news, but what are your thoughts on the numerous Nintendo controversies that started with the Big House drama? To explain to you, Dennis, what the Smash community started being up in arms about before they became up in arms about pretty much Nintendo's entire lineage and history of them as a company and everything else, which is weird how that all suddenly came out around the same time. What happened is that there's a very big historic tournament called the Big House for Smash. It happens every year. It's in the Michigan area. It's online. It was online this year, obviously. And what happened is that they were running Ultimate and Melee, and for Melee, they have an online program called Slippy, which lets you play Melee on seamless connections because it has rollback. It has rollback netcode.
Okay, and
Nintendo didn't like that because they thought it was an illegal copy of the game or whatever, so they ordered them a cease and desist. They said no because there's nothing technically illegal about it. There's nothing illegal about emulation. And Nintendo didn't like that, so they ordered them like a cease and desist, told them to shut the whole thing down or they were going to sue.
So basically told them to lawyer up.
Yeah, literally the whole event was shut down as a result for that. That's where the whole free Melee hashtag started. People were not very happy about that. And
oh god.
Yeah, because what happened is that we know guys, to all my brothers in the Smash community, we don't fucking need Nintendo. We never did. And we never will. There's
I feel as
literally
if it would have been nice if you guys
that.
did. If you guys did get let's say official praise from Nintendo because of the events that you guys all made, of course that's okay, great down the line. I feel as if though, yeah, you're right. That sort of endorsement wasn't really something that y'all needed.
All we got were Nintendo ads. They sponsored the event, and it basically meant we now cannot play Project Melee.
If that's
and all that other stuff, it just gave us more. It was like a shit sponsor.
Yeah,
pretty much.
If that's how far they're going with sponsors, yeah. If that's how far they're going with sponsors, that already tells you kind of right off the bat how they feel about it. It's just kind of okay, they're doing this thing, throw some ads, whatever, and then we'll just.
A bunch of other stuff came out after that, Dennis, where Ninja was trying to start a pro circuit for Smash. Red Bull was trying to, and in their own individual ways, Nintendo found a way to shut it down every time. They did
through
they
legal
like made
speak,
it
I guess?
they said they were gonna make a deal with Ninja or whatever, and then that whole thing fell through. They
Okay.
made a deal with one company to start one for Smash 4 and for Melee, but then they announced Ultimate like right after that, and so the deal literally became null and void. It was shitty stuff like that. They've done a lot of shitty stuff behind
That's pretty
the scenes
slimy
to
for
literally
them.
make sure. And we don't know what the reasons are. Maybe they're scared that, like Melee is going to detract sales from Ultimate, which makes zero sense. People will love both games and will buy both no matter what. It's all a bunch of bullshit. So my thoughts on it, Zoso, like before, without getting too in depth, so we can get to our next topics, is literally we don't need Nintendo. We never did, never will.
I'm an outsider to this, and I agree as well. Like, I don't think you guys really need them.
Literally, we're one of the biggest fighting games without dev support. That's fucking amazing. And I think the free Melee hashtag and the Save Smash hashtag, I'm gonna be real, and I'm not saying this because I was a Nintendo brand ambassador. I'm saying this as my own independent, individual thoughts. That's what this whole podcast is about. I don't give a fuck what people think about me. I literally made this podcast to sort of distance myself from the Smash community a little bit. Not completely, because I love it and I love you guys.
Yeah, we still talk about it. Even I talk about it in here.
Exactly, to get myself out of the way.
And I'm an outsider to this.
Exactly, like to get myself away from the riffraff a little bit and just be myself. But I think that it's kind of funny.
Didn't do
anything. It's funny to me. I'm sorry, but like the way I see it with those hashtags on all of Nintendo's posts, you're screaming into a fucking void.
Into a vacuum.
I'm sorry.
It is. Yeah.
You're really not doing anything, man. Like the Smash community is such an insignificant little fucking speck to Nintendo that if we all like in some magical world just stopped buying their games all of a sudden, yeah, guess what? 90% of their fucking base is still going to do that. Like, they don't care about it. But the thing is, we shouldn't care about them either. So on both ends of that spectrum, my thoughts on it is that, like, I think some of it got blown a little out of proportion. I'm glad that a lot of that stuff about it got exposed so more people knew about it. I knew about some of that stuff beforehand. A lot of it was really old news.
Like, we didn't know...
being old news anyway. But, like, it's just both, man. It's like...
Yeah.
We don't need Nintendo, so who cares? But I also think it's incredibly shitty that they kept going out of their fucking way to ensure that the community didn't grow. That's what's fucked up, and that's where I stand in with solidarity on the quote-unquote movement, if you put it as that.
And also, just to add on to that, like we didn't know Nintendo wasn't slimy. We've seen this shit. Like, I played a couple fan games that...
Before they got taken down.
Yeah, essentially. Like, because, and like, I don't know, like, Nintendo is very much a very Japanese type of company. They're very overly almost protective of their IP. They don't endorse a lot of stuff that's done outside of their own studio, which again is like, I don't know, part of me is like, I can't blame you for that. But at the same time, it's like Nintendo is almost like got that same child and wonderment as Disney does, or Disney did, I guess, like back in the day. Because like all the characters that we know of like are so iconic now. Mickey Mouse is like almost up there with Mario, or Mario is up there with Mickey Mouse, I feel.
He's the Mickey Mouse of the gaming world. People have made that comparison tons of times.
And I feel as if it's like Disney has basically inspired so many people to like go and make animation. And on the flip side with Nintendo, it's like Nintendo's also inspired a lot of game developers to make their own games. And it's so sad to see that they don't feel the same way for a lot of them. Not to mention even when it comes to events such as like your such as Smash tournaments and how much little endorsement that they really give. Like, it's so weird because like you said yourself that for Smash, it's one of those communities where like they don't need the official endorsement from like the parent company that they're making like tournaments from. They don't need endorsement from them. Like, they could be fine without them.
It's literally worse if we have them.
Yeah.
It's completely honest.
And not to mention, but on the flip side though, I've seen a couple of fighting tournaments where like they've gotten endorsement from like the companies, and it's like kind of made the event even better in some ways. But that's because the company wanted to endorse it in that way. Like Dragon Ball Z Fighters, the Street Fighter tournaments that like are still going on now, like It seemed as if to me like that they got a lot more support from like, let's say I forgot who made Fighters, but like the that company plus I think Namco and like Capcom. Like Capcom like thing is really pushing, like at least Capcom now. Like, you know how they made Devil May Cry 5 and how people literally thought like after 4 and that shitty reboot that came out, nobody really like was expecting another Devil May Cry after that. And now Capcom's like starting to realize that, oh, if we want to come back from the brink, we got to revive some of these like IPs. So yeah, they started with fucking Devil May Cry, and it was a huge success now. Like, and people are already thinking like, oh, when's Devil May Cry 6 gonna come out? There's like that excitement about like, what's gonna be coming next out of Capcom, which you haven't seen in a while. And now for Nintendo, it's so weird that they are definitely being gaslit by a lot of people, big and small within like the gaming community. Some very big, used to be at least big Nintendo supporters, but now it's kind of like Nintendo's made this like almost coalition of antagonists now to this point. And I don't think like Nintendo's way too big for it to fall in that way, because they're not going to cave when it comes to shit like that, because they know like, what are you going to do? Like, it's kind of just like them flinging shit at the wall.
Exactly.
And like, Nintendo knows it's not really going to do anything, because like, we're not going nowhere. You guys are still going to be buying our Switches. You guys are still going to be buying our games. You guys are still going to be making money off of them, because like, at least for the YouTubers.
There are no more free Melee hashtags on any of their fucking posts anymore. Like, the whole thing literally like died down after the fucking Sephiroth trailer. It was hilarious. People were literally yelling at each other for being excited about it. Let them be fucking excited about it.
For
like,
real.
It's not that I didn't support the movement. Like, Nintendo, like as a company, like, I love like their games. I like Mario means so much to me. I'm not gonna stop buying their games. If you have a problem with me for that, I want you to go take a look in a mirror for
That's
about 10
fucking
minutes.
dumb though. Like,
I'm just saying, like,
yeah, it's so weird that people do that. And you
but
already just drew a further wedge of division between people who are already on your side with like being against Nintendo. But it's not like what a trailer drops for a character that people actually really already know and love, like Sephiroth, and you can't get excited about it. Like, that makes me hate you. Like, the people who were for the movement and now saying that why are you getting excited over Sephiroth? It's like, we hate you now. Like, you just lost a good chunk of people that were already with you. They were like, literally, they would fucks with you. And they already know what you're talking about.
My house.
Well, David, you get your shotgun and you fucking get dinner, my friend. You have a window. I know you have that window in your room. You could literally poke a shotgun right outside and just be like, hey, let's go, Bambi. Just gonna finger the trigger just a little bit. And can you imagine like a hunting ASMR?
Oh god, like Ray Fiennes
I don't know who that is.
poking out my window like in the movie.
I don't
You remember the first episode when we talked about Ray Fiennes at the end of frickin' Schindler's List?
Oh my god. Oh yeah, okay.
Looks like we got ourselves a buck.
But he talks in that ASMR voice. It's like, we're gonna pull back.
So my thoughts also, as I already answered this, it's not that I don't support it. It's not that I don't support the movement. It's just that, like, I think some of it was honestly so fruitless. If you feel better about not buying Nintendo products, by all means, do what you got to do for yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to stop doing that because, like, I love their games. I love what they do. And I understand that, like, a lot of it is just fruitless. I want Nintendo to leave the community alone. I don't want them to support us. I don't care about that. That's pretty much what I have to say about that. But, like, in terms of my thoughts, I think it's, like, a shitty sponsor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'll be honest with you,
agreed.
Dennis.
It is. Yeah, it is.
I'll be honest with you, Dennis. Like, there's so many, like... I'm just gonna say something here. I'm gonna put it out there. There are too many like Smash players or quote unquote personalities or whatever. I'm not judging y'all for who you are. I'm not gonna do that. That's not what we're about here. But like, it's a common thing in the Smash community, specifically because of it being like a grassroots scene. Some of you people just accept the most shit tier deals. The most shit tier, like, quote-unquote sponsors from these, like, organizations that are not organizations and have less followers than you do. It doesn't make any sense. I'm going to talk about this real quick because I'm not going to name anybody by name because it's dumb. But,
Yeah,
like, literally today, like, the latest controversy of Smash Twitter, quote-unquote, because that people were upset about is, like, this guy, like, lost a set or whatever. Like, he's this like player with like 1,300 followers. He had like
Mewtwo King. No, I'm joking.
No, it was not Mewtwo.
I'm joking. That's the only guy I know. I'm sorry.
And he like shit talked this player, like told her to like suck his dick or whatever, like all this like stuff or whatever. And like he lost his sponsor because of that. And he's like saying like, oh, the Smash community is like so soft or whatever. He's just deflecting, like saying like none
It's
of it
not
is
my
his
fault. Yeah.
It's not my fault and stuff. And this organization literally like told him like, yeah, it's okay to shit talk. Oh, we like that kind of attention or whatever. And now they dropped him because like a couple people pressured him to do that because they were
canceled
scared
him?
of losing like 40 followers or whatever. No, they dropped him like from their org. And,
Oh,
like, this
the org. Okay, all right.
and it's like, it just makes me think these people just don't know how to function as like organizations. Like everybody's trying to get a piece of that like smasher pie. They think there's
Yeah.
room for themselves and their brand to grow there, but then they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You literally said like you sponsored this guy and you were fine with him like being a shit talker, and then when he does it and he's under a little bit of controversy, you drop him immediately out of a little bit of pressure. It just creates this joke of an environment, in my opinion. Not to mention that, like, what were they even doing for you? What were they even doing? Were they paying for you to travel to events?
Nope.
There's a fucking pandemic!
Yeah.
There are no events! Like, there are no real world events. So what are they doing for you?
Yeah.
Like, literally just, like, putting, like, their fucking tag on your name? It's like, I feel like people would look at a sponsor like mine and they would be like, oh, it's not like an esports organization. I'm like, yeah, you want to know why? It's an actual company.
It also doesn't have to be either. Like
Yeah.
it's like I get it that a lot of people are trying to make a big splash in the esports community, and I just mean that in general, not just Smash, because like like Ninja's probably arguably like one of the biggest. I mean, is he still in pro gaming at all, or is he
I
like?
think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not into the games that Ninja plays. I was never
Yeah,
in
like Fortnite and
Fortnite
such,
or
yeah.
anything like that, so I don't even follow him, really.
But arguably, he is like one of the most well known, and everyone like right off the
He's
bat, like,
the highest paid athlete in
Okay.
general.
Okay,
like
alright.
ever. Like including real sports.
okay, and everyone already knows him.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of serves as like a bit of a role model for a lot of people who are just starting to get into the scene. And like it also depends on what you're trying to be. Like if you're trying to be the best out there and the GOAT, well, that's an already difficult path as it is. Some people want to make it into the commentary sort of industry, like how our main gangster here, David, is, and it depends on like what you're trying to like I guess kind of get into. Whether like, and all of it involves creating content, and it's the name of the game nowadays is that having sponsorships, I feel as if is definitely necessary, but that's when it gets tricky because you have to pick good ones. And I'm not in the industry at all. Like I'm not at all.
Dennis, it's like
I'm a non-entity at this point, but it's like these organizations like they're
not even orgs.
like you
They're
got
not
like,
even orgs. Like who
why
are
is
you?
it
It's
then,
like
why don't you
Go
guys
up-
do your own due diligence when it comes to this shit? Like it's like a Google search isn't that hard. Like I don't understand like why, like because like I almost feel
we're
as if
Golden Sunny Gaming. We have like
Like,
we just made
all
our page
these
10 followers. You want us to
organizations-
sponsor you? It's like, and they don't even look into the people that they're sponsoring.
Yeah.
That this guy might be like a shit heel or whatever or something like that. And then the second he doesn't like represent your values, quote unquote, like you drop.
yeah, like
I know
you guys
this.
don't know that this is Tyler One of like Smash Brothers. And
Dude,
like,
it's like the thing is like sponsorships aren't treated in the Smash community. They're not treated like what they are, which is a deal. You wouldn't enter.
it's a business deal.
Would anybody listening to this agree with me in saying that it's a lot better to be single than to be in a terrible relationship? It's like, what? But you have a partner or whatever. No, it's a bad relationship. It's better to be on your own than that if it's not healthy for you or if they're not doing anything
exactly.
for you. So why would you accept a sponsorship that does nothing fucking for you?
Yeah.
There are too many people who just do not know their own worth. Players, commentators, like TOs, the whole shebang, who just
boy.
like accept these fucking horrible deals from like organizations that are not even orgs. They're literally just a glorified
They
Facebook
don't even
page.
give a shit about you either.
Literally, just like a glorified fucking Twitter page where they made like their little art and GIMP, put it on their photo, and like put it on like their fucking cover art on Twitter, and called it a day. And I know this because I literally used to be part of like crews or organizations or whatever that literally did nothing for me. And I joined them because I was young and I wanted to be represented and I didn't know there was anything better for it. All I got was like free venue to their tournaments or whatever. And there was so much work I had to do for it that did nothing fucking for me. The whole time, I'm a bigger name than they are. I'm a bigger brand than they are.
Hell yeah.
So like, what am I doing with them? It's like, it's not like a hateful kind of thing, but it's like, being sponsored isn't this like magnum opus that's like suddenly gonna do great things for you.
Oh, yeah,
If
yeah.
it like no matter like if it's just any fucking org, like know your worth. It's better to be like unsponsored than to be with an organization that does nothing for you.
Yeah.
I even know commentators that used to like roll with like these horrible like not horrible, like they're not bad people, but like they're just organizations that just don't fucking do anything for them. And it's like, what is the point? Why would you do that? And that's what's happening with all these fucking Wi-Fi warriors and stuff. Because I'll tell you, Dennis, literally like the state of the state of like the state of the Smash community right now is that, you know, obviously tournaments are online and Smash Wi-Fi
It's shit.
particularly trash. It's like not even like it's peer to peer. There's no servers. So basically if like somebody else's connection is bad, the whole thing is bad. It doesn't matter how good your internet is. That's what peer to peer is.
Yeah.
And as a result, like the results are just flipped upside their head. Like there are a lot of people, I'm just going to fucking say it. There are a lot of people who like are getting like mad results right now in like all these different types of tournaments that I know for a fact, we all know for a fact are not going to do shit at actual tournaments. They're gonna go right back to going 0-2 or 2-2, probably not 0-2, probably like 2-2, whatever it is, and they're gonna be irrelevant again. We all know it. It's the elephant in the room, and it's just something you gotta say. And these people getting sponsored, they're often children, Dennis. They're often literally like 16 years old or younger, and
Very
all of a sudden
impressionable.
very impressionable. They get sponsors all of a sudden because they're doing good in Wi-Fi tournaments, which is carrying them, frankly. They get like 1,000 followers overnight. They do some dumb fucking 16-year-old shit. Everybody clowns on them, and they start
Some
to
Logan
virtue
Paul
signal.
shit.
Yeah, they start to clown on them and start to virtue signal like it's forgetting that they're a child or whatever. And then it just devolves into this dumpster fire. That's all that Smash Twitter is. That's all that keeps happening. And that just stems into a bigger issue, Dennis. Like, parents need to beat their fucking kids. You know, just like little belts. You know, flip-flop, the chancleta. You know, good old smack.
I gotta
Whatever.
say, none like y'all have. If y'all lived in like under immigrant like families, like y'all know, like Hispanic or Asian, like y'all know what corporal punishment feels like. Like y'all know what it feels like.
And these kids do not. Then it's because they keep like getting under these quote unquote controversies, which aren't even real controversies.
Real
just
life
by
hasn't hit them.
doubling down. Because this guy who lost his sponsor for like saying all that heinous shit and going into this woman's stream, which is what he did. He went into this woman's stream and like started shit talking her and like trying to clown her and shit and whatnot. He's doubling down on that because he's 16 and he's a moron.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens. It's like that's what happens.
That's what 16-year-olds do.
Exactly. It's what happens when children get fucking followers. Like I don't think children should literally be allowed to use social media at fucking all. I have very extreme views about that.
I do agree.
What happens is the Smash community that just it doesn't promote it, but it just happens because like these kids get good at the game, they're very impressionable, like you said, and then
they get in their own head.
They get in their own head. They have no clue what respect is. Like they don't know how to just say. They don't know how to say just GGs when they lose
because they're embracing the bad boy persona.
Their egos get out of control already, and the thing that makes me happy is because I know for a fact that all those people who have no respect for the grind of getting good at Smash, get egos too quickly out of nowhere. I'm very happy to know that they are not going to do fucking anything when real tournaments come back. Like, they are going to become so irrelevant.
They're riding on the coattails, I feel.
They're riding on there's a lot of Wi-Fi warriors who got a lot better during this era who are all about the grind, and I know for a fact are going to do really well at offline events because they've been practicing and other people haven't because they don't want to play in the Wi-Fi tournaments. But there are other ones who I know are just not going to be doing that. I went on a little bit of a rant here. I'm sorry. This is just something that's been on my mind today because I swear to God, the Smash community I don't participate in any of that shit because I don't fucking care about literal children or whatever they have to say. Or not that. That's a bad way to phrase it.
But when they're acting like that, it's like, who are you?
What I'm saying is that I don't participate in the fucking dumbass teenage shit. Yeah. That's where I back off. That saying I don't care about kids, that's not what I meant. You know, I actually shut up. I literally made a whole podcast when all like the Me Too shit happened in Smash. I made that whole hour-long video that I made talking about what I think needs to happen and whatnot in the Smash community because kids are very impressionable. They deserve to have as safe of a space in the gaming sphere as I did and everybody was so nice to me when I joined. And the fact that, you know, women can't do that without getting hit on constantly or like have some douchebag try to get with them. The fact that they can't have that same experience that I did, that warm welcome into this loving community that it seemed like, is not fair. But when these like, what am I trying to say here, man? I lost my train of thought for a minute. I'm not gonna
That's what
lie
anger
to
does
you.
to you, David. Don't let it ever
It's
get
what
to you.
anger does to the lad, yeah. But I don't participate in all the dumbass teenage riffraff, whatever the drama of the day is or whatever, because, like, I swear to God, because whenever this happens, it's like, it's just teenage bullshit. Like, the Smash community to me is just
And
such
you're
a
older
teenage...
now. Like, and you're,
exactly.
when you see this shit, it's kind of like, I don't want to be a part of this shit. I don't wanna
Exactly.
be, like, because it reminds me of that one. I love quoting Sopranos. Fucking Junior. There's a fucking scene where Richie April like comes in and he brings his nephew, and his nephew is like this really like because he's descended from like the last boss, his father, and Junior's acting boss by that point, and Junior like the Richie's nephew, Jackie, my bad, yeah, Jackie. He's like saying all this shit and like he's like talking the talk and everything. You know what Junior says to him like right off the bat?
Yeah, what?
He's like, "Who's speaking here? Somebody speaking?" Completely disregarding him entirely. That's what all you guys who are older got to say to shit like that, because it's like they're young and stupid. They're all like they talking the talk because like they, you know how like everyone I feel as if kind of has had this phase where like you were young and stupid and like you kind of got in your own head real easily. It happens to everybody, and I feel as if maybe for them it's just kind of like they haven't grown up yet. But at the same time, like I feel as if people like that do need a taste of real life like real quick, because if they don't, then it's gonna just like fuck with them forever. Not that I'm saying that you guys should be catering to them, but at the same time, it's kind of like just know like they're kind of where everyone was at one time in their life, but it's like, and I'd imagine that a lot of people, not even just in the Smash community, but like also some people who started off young and like made it pretty big, like now, like Ninja, they've all like kind of gone through that phase. And Ninja still talks the talk every now and then, but like for him, it's kind of like he could talk it because it's him. Like he's made it. He's really made it if you think about it in that industry. Like no one's made it more than him. And I don't really fucks with him that much, but it's like you can't help but at least be like a bit respectful about where he's at, because he's done the work. Like he's played tournaments, he's played events, he's done sponsorships, he's made deals. Like the guy's basically like Shaq. Like he's just not 7'5" and played in the Lakers. Like he's just
And
a
black.
kid with, yeah, and he's just a kid with like weird hair. But yeah, like I feel as if that's at least my piece on it about like these young kids like who are like talking talk right now, because we've all done it. We've all trash talked on Xbox Live. Don't fucking lie and tell me you haven't.
Yeah, there's shit talk, but there's also knowing your audience.
Yeah.
Like just telling the audience. Yeah, even though like she's a fellow player, like telling a woman to suck your dick. That's kind of rude. That's a little. And
unless it's Xbox Live.
Unless it's Xbox. Oh yeah, then it's totally okay. But you just gotta know your audience. You're shit talking.
Yeah.
I shit talk with my boys all the time. When we play doubles with each other, we call each other trash. We say call
there's
like,
no
horrible
maliciousness.
things to each other.
There's
There's
no
no maliciousness because we're cool with each other like that, and we can say it. Like, yeah, a lot of women, especially if they're gay, they don't like it when you tell them to suck your dick, because that's what this guy said. One of the many
Flick
things
my
that
bean,
he said.
bitch.
Yeah, like dude, you gotta know your audience, man. Like he's just. And then 16-year-olds get attention that they shouldn't get. Like bad attention that's not good for them. Like learning lessons in like such a hard way. This is what happens when they're either raised wrong or raised by the internet. And nobody, Dennis, nobody asked this fucking question because nobody cares. But here's the reason I started this podcast.
Tell us, David.
Started for a lot of reasons. Wanted to be myself, wanted an outlet where me and my boy Dennis could bool. This is the kind of sort of branding I want to do for myself, and more importantly, just have this fun outlet to be myself during and after quarantine. But another reason is because like I'm just gonna be real, man. The Smash community, the Smash Twitter, at least. I don't know so much about the community. I've met mostly amazing people in the community. I've had
Wanted to get away from it.
amazing relationships and whatnot, but it's a teenage wasteland. That's what it is, and I'm too old for that shit, man. I don't want to participate in any nonsense where like literally it's just like a teenager being stupid. That's usually the root of like most of the issues
Teen
in the
drama,
Smash.
as
Literally,
they call
that's the root of the issue.
Yeah.
That's the root of most issues in the Smash community when they come up. It was just a teenager being stupid, and then other teenagers or like sometimes even grown ass adults like giving them attention, which you shouldn't, because then it wouldn't become an issue.
Yeah.
That's just nonsensical, and I'm just fucking done with that shit. Just want
Okay,
a place where I can
off
be
of
me,
that-
and this is where I've come to distance myself from it a little.
Off that note,
Not that I wanted to completely. I love Smash. I love you guys. It's made a great thing for myself. I love being a commentator. I'm not going anywhere. It's not about that. I'm like, I love Smash. I love the most people in the community. It's just, it's too much sometimes, and like, it's just, like I said, it's a teenage wasteland.
and I like Smash at an arm's length. But we are drawing a close to our episode, so maybe we could get to one question that we got from Glenn. And it's something that I had to think about for a little bit because I read it and I was like, have we really had one? From Glenn Tendo at Super Glenn Tendo. What is the biggest disagreement that David and Dennis have had?
Fuck. I don't.
Yeah, right? Like, could you think of one? I don't know. Like, I feel as if we have stuff that we have disagreed about, but not to like to create to some crazy extent to say like it's the biggest disagreement we ever had.
You casually drop the word bitch a lot.
Oh,
And I'm a
okay.
little. You do you, Denise.
Thanks, bitch.
My beautiful girlfriend, Denise.
Yo, watch you get a girl named Denise, and I'm just gonna be like, just like fuck.
That would be enough. That would be enough of a reason, but to not date her.
She's like exactly like me, just
Like it's
has
too close
tits.
to my other girl. It's a female version of Dennis. Like it looks like you too. Oh, that'd be so creepy, man.
I know. Like you like introduced me to her one day, and I'm just kind of like, I have to pull you to the side. Like, hey, Dave, can you come here for a second? Like, hey, yo, man, I don't want to front, but like, really? Like, it's like what? It's like, look at her, and then look at me. It's like, oh shit, you're right. Look, listen, I'm gonna tell her we're gonna break up like right now, okay? Like just right now.
Oh yeah, that's how that scenario plays out in your head. Local white man.
Comically.
Local white man gives up regular sex for his friend.
Okay.
Dennis, the fact that she looks like you is what.
It would throw.
Why don't you put two and two together, man?
Yeah, okay,
Maybe that's
okay.
why I'm with her. Huh?
Well,
You ever thought about that, Dennis?
listen, bitch. No.
Well, probably
okay.
that. I mean, sometimes Dennis he'll describe
casually drop it.
he'll describe a senator as a Muppet-looking bitch, like he did in the first episode. Which, by the way,
Leffler she was. I'm not even gonna fucking even like. Look, I stand by what I said. She really does look like one. Have you all seen pictures of her? She literally looks like she belongs in the Muppets. Literally, just stick your hand up her ass and just like go like. Bop, 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 bop.
I mean, I guess me and Dennis did disagree on what was going to happen to Trump afterwards. Like
Oh yeah, there
Dennis
was that a little bit. Yeah.
Dennis was immediately on the train, just like, unless there is something illegally barring him from not doing it, he is going to run in 2024, and he will have a solid base.
To that, I mean, the impeachment's apparently going to be happening by February because they pushed it back a little bit. But I mean, I feel as if this does go well, then David probably. I mean, I feel as if like we both kind of were right because like unless like something like really like if the hammer really comes down hard, unless that happens, like this guy's still going to run. But I feel as if the impeachment does go, I don't know, swimmingly, he should be able to like the government should be able to ban him from ever like running again. Which again, like we don't know if that is going to happen yet, but I feel as if it's kind of like a strong possibility at this point, just because of how at least, even though bitch McFuckhole like basically said that he basically was the one that suggested we kind of give Trump time to like prepare his case. I feel as if like even he wants him gone. Like he don't want him. Like McConnell is as establishment as they come to like to the government structure at this point. And he doesn't want another guy like him coming in. I feel as if now they kind of learned their lesson. Like we shouldn't have guys like this like, in our party because they're going to go off the walls. They're going to do some crazy shit and even like possibly get like a coup going. Like, we probably shouldn't fucking do this again. So
might make us look a little bad.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, like fucking not giving checks to people. Fucker. But
Gone sexual.
It's gone sexual. But
this is such a fucking unstructured episode.
Hey, but we had fun though. That's what matters.
No, we're all about that here.
Far as biggest disagreement, I have to say, like, at least on my end, other than like a couple times in politics, but like, you know, me and David could actually have an well-civilized discussion about it, unlike a lot of other people out there, like on Twitter.
Dennis is mi amarillo amigo.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel as if I probably would just go a little bit low key Republican maybe one day, but like that, I don't know. That'll depend. I could see myself. Just like, he's a Trump supporter, so therefore
MAGA,
he's racist.
MAGA,
He's MAGA.
MAGA,
He's MAGA faggot. No, I'm joking about that. But there's like some ideals about them that I do like kind of can appreciate. But I feel as if that's like all people. But
well, you're a centrist. Aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I like to say I am, but I know like for a lot of people it's like, oh, you're a centrist, so you're just like a closet Trump supporter. Like, I've heard that before. But
that's so tribal, man.
It is.
That. That's another thing.
That's how Twitter is.
Another thing I hate about Smash sometimes. That's not even a Smash issue at all. It'd be unfair of me to say it's a Smash issue. That's just it's Twitter in general.
All the finger pointing and tribalism.
People can just be so tribal nowadays, and I definitely lean more liberally easily. But
yeah, so do I.
I also try to think objectively about everything, but I also don't give the time of day to people who who are on that redneck
no
agenda.
Immigrants and shit.
Yeah, who are on that like redneck agenda. Like what was that picture you sent me? Like freaking like American redneck ninja warrior.
It was like people climbing up the Capitol wall.
It's the same people who like say they can't wear masks because of breathing issues.
Fucking stupid.
Meanwhile, fucking hardcore parkour up the way.
Yeah, and like they were taking like 15 minutes just to get up that fucking wall. It's like clearly not a lot of these people are in the best shape of their lives. Yeah. Clearly. But as far as disagreements,
probably politically, Glenn, I would have to say.
Yeah, not even that like divisive either.
Yeah, we don't even think too differently on that either. We're always open to discussion about that kind of thing. Me and Dennis really don't have a very huge disagreement.
I think Smash is the worst game in the world. It should probably fucking burn.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely, I absolutely agree. What are you talking about? I agree with that.
Yeah, I meant the N64 Smash.
Oh, that game is godlike. What are you talking about? Yeah,
because like coming up on what everyone's playing.
We're coming up on an hour 5 here, but I think we could probably. Actually, no, I don't think we can. I take it back.
I know I was being optimistic too in my head. Maybe we could one more, just one more.
We actually can fit in like this one because it actually is very quick and like if we can do a very quick answer on it. Satachi asked another question. Satachi, you got 2 questions answered on the podcast. Lucky fuck. Satachi asks. Whoa. Satachi asks, KFC or Popeyes?
Popeyes. Fuck KFC.
Popeyes
fuck Chick-fil-A.
Is better.
Chick-fil-A is not even part of this
Popeyes.
discussion. Fuck both of them.
I don't either because I don't hate gay people. Popeyes.
Or closed on Sundays.
Or closed on Sundays,
so
yeah.
Fucking stupid.
Oh my god.
Fuck Chick-fil-A.
We need to go pray that money to Uganda on Sundays. That's what that day is for. Fucking assholes. Popeyes is better than KFC.
It always will be.
In literally every
category. Here's the thing. Here's also why
KFC.
Popeyes doesn't try to be anything it's not. Popeyes knows what it is right off the bat. We know our food is terrible for you, but we don't give a shit because we know you're gonna eat it. KFC does the same thing, which I appreciate. But like, I'm even gonna bring Chick-fil-A in this, even though it's not even part of the question. Fuck Chick-fil-A. Fuck all its small ass chicken sandwiches. Fuck all of its people who are like, yo, it's the bomb ass shit.
Have you ever had a KFC?
Oh no, wait, I'm gonna rant on this like how you rant on Smash. Fuck Chick-fil-A with a fucking stick. I hate Chick-fil-A and how they think they have this holier than thou attitude with everybody that they're with, even plus the customer base. Oh, we don't open on fucking Sunday because of the Lord's Day and shit like that. We don't support the LGBTQ community. Oh, here and there and blah blah blah. There's all this shit that kind of goes like I've been hearing about Chick-fil-A. Never has it been ever good. People love to say that, oh, their chicken is great. You know what? Fuck you and your overpriced chicken. Because of the fact Popeyes doesn't do any of that shit. I appreciate the honesty from Popeyes. We know our shit can kill you. But we know you're going to eat it. So we don't fucking lie to you.
Popeyes drinking water when you said that.
Popeyes doesn't lie to you. Fuck. And they don't have this weird holier than thou attitude. Like, you're a fucking fast food restaurant. Why do you have a stance with this shit? Like, remember when like George Floyd and all that shit was coming out, right?
Of course.
And even like when Chick-fil-A came out with like the whole like, oh yeah, like, we don't support the LGBT community. Like, why would you even say that? Like, why would you say that? Like, you could have literally continued to be what you are without saying that. But you just felt as if, yo, we have to take a stance on gays. We have to take a stance on people who love to take it up the ass.
And then
we have to do it. Like, and double down on it. You're a fucking chicken sandwich restaurant. Get the fuck over yourself, Chick-fil-A. Get the fuck over yourselves, people who love Chick-fil-A. Go kill yourselves.
It's not like you're fucking Kermit,
kill
dude.
Yourselves.
It's not like you're Kermit.
Fucking kill yourselves.
Fuck me hard, chicken sandwich. Ah!
Yeah,
dude, honestly, Chick-fil-A, we would tell you to go spit roast yourselves like we did to those other things in this episode, but you'd probably say
Fuck
that's gay.
Chick-fil-A.
You'd probably say that's gay and you wouldn't like it.
Fuck
Popeyes
Chick-fil-A.
doesn't lie. Like you said, when they said they had the best chicken sandwich, weren't fucking lying. It's
fucking
bomb.
lying.
It's so bomb. And as well, here's the best reason that KFC is better than Popeyes, Satachi.
Wait, KFC's better than Popeyes?
No, that Popeye's better than KFC. Yeah.
Oh, you got that flip though.
I got it. Thank you for letting me know. When you go into a bucket of KFC and you lift that shit up,
what do you see on the bottom?
You can fill a fucking shot glass with the grease that comes off of one leg.
Oh.
That's how you know that your asshole.
You could start a forest fire with that oil. You could probably throw that on a tree and probably set it on fire. And it'll actually light.
Yo asshole is finished.
It's finished.
It's done.
It's done.
Popeyes
Fatality. Mortal Kombat, bro.
Popeyes is still crispy, but it's not nearly as greasy, which is huge. That's a big thing right there.
No, but here's the thing though too. Popeyes can have its days. It can have its days, but here's the thing though. I know that I'm not being lied to. I know I'm not being lied to. I fucking look, David. Like I have to tell you something. Like honesty is so big on me, and I fucking love it when companies don't try to bullshit me. Popeyes knows what it is. They know it's like chicken made from like a real sweet loving black lady like thing that she knows like, oh, you're gonna love this, but also you may get a clogged artery every now and then. So it's like, you know what
probably
you're getting
from like
into.
Connecticut or something.
Yeah, but Louisiana, not Connecticut.
I'm talking about the actress.
Oh.
They probably told her like, hey, be as stereotypically like
be
the
like
most
some Aunt Jemima
stereotypical
looking
Southern black woman that you could possibly be. And she was just like, okay, I'll take this money.
Yeah. But you know, here's the thing. I don't care because I know what Popeyes is.
Yeah.
And I know Popeyes don't fucking lie to me.
Look, I'll tell you one thing that's better than both, and one thing that you can't get at both, which will I suppose.
Wait, both as in like KFC and Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, this is something you can't get at either Popeyes, KFC, or even Chick-fil-A, really.
Mm-hmm. Lay it on me.
And that's Rise Cold Brew, which you can use the link below in the description.
Out here with a sponsor!
10% off with discount code Nintoonist using the special link that's in the description below. If you don't use that link, it won't work because it is an affiliate link where some of the proceeds for it will go directly to us to help us directly support the podcast that you are listening to right now so we can continue to bring you guys this wonderful quality for you. While also getting some wonderful organic nitrogenated cold brew coffee in a variety of flavors. And if that ain't your thing, if you're not even a coffee drinker, Rise also makes very delicious organic oat milk in original, vanilla, and chocolate flavor, whichever one floats your boat. All 10% off using discount code Nintoonist at checkout using that link below. Do not go to KFC. Do not get $200. Do not pass go. Do not go to jail. Do not play Monopoly. Do not flip the board.
You must
because
have
you
the
get
Rise
angry.
Cold Brew. Master Wayne, it's delicious. You must try this Rise Cold Brew. Try that oat milk too. It's very delicious, Master Bane. Master Bane.
Shit. This is the best coffee I've ever had.
You shall take over Gotham with
I don't even want to.
Fuck, I can't do this voice.
I don't even want to take over Gotham anymore. Rise Cold Brew made me feel that much better.
Tom Hardy loves Rise Cold Brew, confirmed.
I can't wait to take this back to the 100-acre wood.
To the CCP.
Show it to my buddy Winnie. Winnie, fuck me hard, chicken sandwich. I'm gonna put a link to that video in the description below. We're done here.
Guys, we love you.
We're done here. The only one I apologize to is definitely at Daniel. Actually, that's not even the whole at. The biggest history nerd. I forgot your whole at. This is my friend Daniel that I went to high school with asked me a question as well. We are gonna get to your question next week, my friend. I'm sorry we ran out of time beforehand, but
He's a
yours
handsome
is
lad.
yours would take a look. Oh, he's a handsome lad.
He's a dashing
He
young
can
lad.
do the trep pack. I remember senior prom. We all gathered around him, and he did that dance where, like, you know, the Russian dance where you like cross your arms and like
the
he
Cossack
did it.
dance. Oh,
Everybody,
shit.
he did the Cossack dance beautifully.
Damn.
It was so hype. Shout outs to Daniel on that one, man.
Daniel.
Daniel.
Lieutenant Dan.
If that is your real name,
Watch it not be. It's like Greg.
we will answer your question next week, my friend. We apologize we couldn't get to it today.
Don't
but
stop with the questions, people. Please.
Yeah, please do not stop. Like, you know how to reach us, man. You could just add us at Double D Podcast. Hit us up on our Instagram at Double D Podcast 21 or Double D Experience 21. My mistake.
David, come on, man. It's
I'm sorry.
two episodes in.
I don't use the gram. We're 3 actually.
Oh yeah, we're 3 now. But yes,
And
please.
As well, you can also just at me on my personal Twitter as well, at Nintoonist. That's where I get most of the questions from anyway, since I have a larger following there than obviously a brand new Twitter page. But if you like what you see, feel free to follow us at those links below, at Double D Pod and at Double D Experience 21 on Instagram as well. And feel free to subscribe to us as well, whether it's on Spotify or right here on YouTube at youtube.com/Nintoonist, Google Podcasts, whatever you used to listen to us for. We would very, 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 please. I promise I won't wreck Gotham if you subscribe to the podcast.
This is Michael Caine with a very important message for the Double D podcast. I will literally let everyone run a train on me if you subscribe to the Double D Experience podcast. Please do it. Do it.
Haven't you ever wanted to eat the ass of Michael Caine?
Probably not now anymore.
I know you thought about it. I know you thought about it quite a lot.
I masturbate like Master Wayne and Master Bane. Good night, everybody.
We're done. Turn those lights out.
Michael Caine.